My name is Michelle Anderson. Welcome to my EDN 329 Mathematics program presentation. The focus for this program is Year 2 fractions. The program has been developed for a Year 2 classroom where number and algebra is the mathematical focus. Pre-assessment data identified 28% or 8 students as demonstrating errors and/or misconceptions in 3 key concepts of the fraction aspect of number and algebra. A further 5 students identified as demonstrating errors and/or misconceptions in 2 or less key concepts. The purpose of the program is to enhance the development of mathematical understanding and content knowledge for those students experiencing difficulties with specific concepts related to fractions. The program will provide an effective sequence and progression of learning in which fractions concepts and skills deepen over time, provide a variety of evidence-based instructional approaches that support the acquisition of mathematical knowledge, understanding and skills for a diverse range of learners. Use a variety of assessment methods to determine student understanding of concepts and skill acquisition to establish further learning needs and support. While 8 students have been identified as the target group for this program, it will accommodate all students through the provision of levels of differentiation to support individual learning needs and abilities. Those students who demonstrated 2 or less errors and/or misconceptions in initial assessment will participate in the program as required. Those students who did not demonstrate errors or misconceptions will receive work at a higher level to support the learning of more difficult concepts of fractions. The 8-lesson program is aimed at developing student knowledge and understanding in the following areas: understanding the terms whole, halves, quarters, eighths, equal parts, sharing and dividing, understand that fractions are made up of equal parts, how many halves in a whole, how many quarters in a whole, how many eighths in a whole, recognise common uses of fractions. Lessons are sequenced in the following way: 3 lessons focusing on dividing shape into equal parts, whole, halves, quarters and eighths. 3 lessons focusing on dividing collections into equal parts, whole, halves, quarters and eighths. And 2 lessons focusing on identifying and naming fractions, written and numerically. All lessons will emphasise the concepts of equal parts, fair sharing and common uses of the targeted fractions. The program is linked to the number and algebra strand of the mathematics curriculum and focuses on the fractions and decimals substrand. The targeted content descriptors are recognising and describing 1/2 as one of 2 equal parts of a whole. This is a Year 1 outcome. However, it is important that students have a good understanding of the concept prior to moving on to Year 2 outcomes. The Year 2 outcome is recognising and interpreting common uses of halves, quarters and eighths of shapes and collections. Effective instruction using evidence-based instructional approaches and strategies will feature strongly within the program and will include explicit teaching and modelling of concepts, frequent checks for understanding, questioning and discussion between teacher and students and among students, scaffolding, appropriate and practical work, opportunities for practice and consolidation of skills, problem solving and investigational activities linked to everyday situations, timely corrective and descriptive feedback, flexible grouping, and a variety of resources and multiple representations. A variety of assessment will be used to determine student understanding and learning. It will include both formative and summative assessment, formal and informal assessment for, of and as learning, including observations, activity sheets as work samples, student feedback and participation, questioning, group work participation, anecdotal recording, and mini quizzes. It is anticipated that early identification and intervention can assist in enhancing understanding and content knowledge of specific mathematical concepts and feelings about maths in general. Thank you for your time.